Okay, camo paint jobs are really popular. They're really cool. They're very easy to do. We're going to show you how to do this, and this is an anybody's paint job. You don't have to be an artist, an airbrush artist, or anything. We're going to use spray paint, rattle can, aerosol, can paint, whatever you want to call that, to do this. Anybody can do this. It's very simple and really cool how to do this. Rust-Oleum has this line of camouflage paints that work great. If there are any colors you can't get in that you want, if you can't find it in a flat paint, get a satin like we're showing there. Um, that will be your next best thing to flat paints. And then anytime you're doing this on plastic, you probably want to start off with a plastic paint from Rust-Oleum or one of those other brands like that, and then come in and do what we're going to show you in this video how to do. Okay, we're going to make some templates here using just discarded material. Beer can cases, soda can cases, etc. This cardstock is going to work great. You can use a utility knife, an X-Acto knife, scissors, or whatever to cut these out. Just camo templates, very simple. You want to make a bunch of these so you can change up shapes and get to ones without paint on them. Just come in here and draw different squiggly shapes and so forth to use as your camo templates, and then cut them out. You want a bunch of these because you want to be able to change up shapes a lot, and because they're going to get covered with paint pretty quickly from these aerosol cans. And so you just cut these out using whatever you want to use, scissors, utility knife, or whatever, and make a bunch of them. As they get wet, you're going to want to change them off, drop one and pick up another one pretty quickly. And there's an X-Acto knife, utility knife, scissors, whatever you want to use, not a problem. Make a bunch of these. These are a really cheap, easy way to do this. Okay, this poster board will be our subject area for this first test here in this demonstration. And I'm going to start off with the light tan. You can do whatever order you want. I prefer to start with the light color, light green or light tan. And you want to do the strokes. I'm just kind of showing you without shooting paint here. Do the strokes all the way across, back and forth, starting off of one edge and finishing off of the other. If you start and stop on the subject area, that's when you're going to get paint blobs and runs and so forth. So you're starting and stopping with your hand in motion. Can should be moving before you start spraying paint, and it should keep moving after you finish each stroke. Just a little bit, so it's follow through, it's beginning and end, and that way you don't get paint blobs and so forth. Okay, now we're going to come in with the dark green and their templates that we've made here. And you can start off doing freehand and then touch it up with templates and sharpen up your edges and shapes. Or you can do it the other way around. We'll show you both. You're just going to come back and forth with the different colors and do shapes. This is a kind of a freehanding a blob in there. And then you can come in and give it some definition with a template like this. Doesn't have to be anything. You're not trying to do a particular shape or something. That's why camo jobs are really easy to do. You see I'm doing little short spurts of the paint. These cans put out a lot of paint. And so you kind of give it little short spurts of paint, little quick motions, little quick jobs, and it'll put down a lot of paint. Now here I'll start off the shape using the template. So you can do it either way you want, and then I'll fog it a little bit. So kind of the effect here of where you have foggy edges and sharp edges, and you intentionally fog some of it, so you've got what's clearly a shape, but it's a foggy shape, or foggier in some areas than others. That's kind of neat. That you're going to see that's what we're going to put together here. It not only looks neat, but it's so easy to do. It's just insane. Sorry, I'm blocking this a little bit. Hard to get a good shot here, but just shooting in these. And you should come back and forth here. Come in with the different colors. We've got a dark green we're using here. There's a dark brown and a dark gray. They make a light green also. We'll show you that on another piece here we'll do where we did that. So this is just the tan with some greens, and then we'll come in with grays and this dark gray that almost looks black, and a dark brown also. So just kind of look, it's just this easy to do, to put down some different shapes. Use quick little jabbing shots of paint there with these spray paint cans. Now this is the dark brown. And just going to do some little jabby shots and make all sorts of different shapes. You can overlap them. You can fog one into another. You can take a shape and have it then start off in one color and finish in another. Very simple, very easy to do. And like I said before, if you don't want to go out and get these paints and you're not really confident you can do this, and you don't want to take my word for it because you can, this is very easy to do. Just make some of these templates that we showed you to make, and then take an old cardboard box or something you got laying around, and use any paints you have, any colors you have. You could have red and blue or something, and just practice this technique. So whatever paints you have, you can at least try this technique out, and you'll see that it'll work. You'll see how easy it is and that you can do it, and then they'll give you the incentive to go out and get the paints that are going to work for you for the particular color scheme you want to use. Again, these camo paints, this line from Rust-Oleum is great if those are the colors you want. Let's say you wanted to do an Arctic paint job, an Arctic camouflage job though. You'd want to use black, gray, and white. And those are easy to get in flat. And again, if you're not worried about flat versus satin or glossy, that's okay as well. The flat paints just kind of look better as a camo paint. And you see I'm just doing different things here. Just kind of watch this. There's no secret to it. Just kind of put whatever color you want, whatever shape you want, whatever size of shape you want. You can overlap them, you can blend them, you can do all sorts of weird stuff, and just kind of have fun with it. And you can do this to about anything you've got. Again, if you've got something plastic like ATV parts, the cowling and so forth that you want to do this on at some point, you'll probably want to come in first with a plastic friendly paint, one of the plastic paints, and use that basically as a primer. So you put that down and then come in with these colors like this, or whatever other colors you want to use. Now this is using a stencil, and I'll show you what the problem is. The problem with using a stencil and these aerosol cans is it's too easy to get this overspray. Now you can fix that, but the point I want to make here is if you're going to use stencils where you're kind of shooting a specific shape that's got fairly sharp edges all around, you got to be careful to leave yourself a buffer zone, enough buffer on the stencil between the shape and the outer edge of the stencil so that you can control that. It's easier to do with an airbrush, obviously, but with these cans, they put out so much paint so fast that you have to be able to watch that in terms of how you make your stencils. And again, that's why I'm showing you more just using these template tools this way, because that gives you a lot more freedom and ability to work with the large amounts of material that come out of these spray paint cans very fast. Call them rattle can paint or whatever. Okay, we'll do a fast example here, doing it on an object, putting a camo paint job on a coffee can. This might be an ashtray from your patio or something. Do the exact same thing as we did before, come in with one color and then come back with different colors using the template and so forth, and you build up just whatever you want with some template edges and some freehand. And I intentionally get some fogginess to it. I don't really want sharp edges on all of this, but you do it however you want. If you want all sharp edges, here's a stencil. You can come in and do that, kind of a leaf stencil. Okay, now here's a quick before shot of a bass boat we're going to do. Same exact technique and so forth. They're bigger shapes, obviously, which is easier to do with these spray cans. And you can do a helmet, a construction helmet, whatever you got, or anything to practice with, a mailbox, toolbox, anything like that. You'll be an expert at this the second you do it. It's just that simple, and you'll see how easy that is to do. You'll just really be impressed, and you'll see how easy it is to do this and be able to do it on just about anything. And here's the finished bass boat. The outside and inside are a little bit different, just to give you some different feels for different flavors. On the inside, I use more of the dark gray and more of the dark brown, just to give you some different ideas. And you practice with this, you'll see how easy it is and neat it is to do this.